Hey guys, first for Guardsman here, and today I'll be tier listing all the classes in Space Marine 2 for the new Siege mode in patch 8.0. Now before we actually get into this tier list, I do want to say that these are the class listings for a coordinated team to push the highest waves possible, not solo play, not random pub matches. This is assuming all of your teammates know what they were doing. So the first class we have here is the Bulwark. I would say Bulwark is a very strong class in this game, especially for a team play component, because unlike all the other classes in this game, he has a straight up 100% damage reduction off of like one button press and a perfect animation cancel. He has a 30% increased starting HP with a ton of damage reduction, and there does come a time where the enemies in the siege mode, especially post like wave 20 chaos, will straight up one shot you if you don't have proper damage reduction, or like just 100% damage reduction, to be honest. And he is like the best possible class to have as a last brother standing in an optimal team comp in my opinion. So for that reason alone, I would put him in S. He can also grant armor restore to your whole team passively with the team perk Focus Restoration. That's actually a really good team perk now. And overall, this guy may lack equipment recharge, but that's kind of circumvented by the secure stockpile perk on the tactical. So Bulwark, he really is that guy. He's just like the easiest to survive with class in this whole game, and overall, that's why we put him in the S. Now, next class here is Assault. Now, Assault is like the most maligned class in this game. I'm gonna get out of the way first here. If he was just fighting Tyranids, easy S. This guy has absurd Nova damage, absurd Horde clear versus Tyranids, incredibly easy to survive with versus Tyranids, amazing class for them. Unfortunately, he is forced to fight Chaos, so he automatically goes into C below all other classes because this guy just sucks ass versus Chaos, especially wave 20 plus Chaos, because his entire kit of like execute spam and gunstrike spam just falls apart at some point in this game, like post wave 15 versus the Chaos faction, and he's just terrible for pushing the highest waves. So that's why we're putting him here. It's kind of unfortunate. He could really use like a purification type perk like the sniper has, or some type of contested health recovery, or even just like a better armor restore or damage reduction. Either way, he is currently the worst class in siege mode, only because he has to fight Chaos at like the highest waves. Next class here is Sniper. Now, Sniper is another class that is incredibly powerful in a team component. I don't think he is quite as strong as the Bulwark. He is better at actually getting people up, mainly because he can go invisible, and like sometimes that is the only way to even buy things from the requisition terminal at later waves, or get people up at all. So for that, he's quite strong. He also does a ton of boss damage with Shadow Stab and Tactical Ambush, incredible Horde clear with a Melt-a-Bomb spam every 30 seconds that will stack on top of the secure stockpile perk from a tactical. He is very good, has a ton of weapon options like Bolt Carbine, Last Fusel, Stalker Bolt Rifle, all these things perform very well, and he's just really good at surviving with Purification and Emperor's Grace. Still though, I would say he is below the Bulwark on the later waves just by a bit, so I put him in A. It's still a very strong class, and I would still say he's part of a pretty optimal team comp. Next class we have here though is the Heavy. Now Heavy is just S, okay? He's just S. He is him. Straben is that guy. He is probably the best class in this game currently. Actually, no, he just is the best class in this game currently. He struggles with zero content. Iron Halo is like one of the best abilities in this whole game because it outright removes range spam, and he can fire back while it's going on and fight off triple hell brutes like nobody else. Even the Bulwark can't attack while he's blocking with his shield. This guy is really just like an offensive and defensive machine. He is incredibly tanky with fortitude. He has so much damage reduction versus range, and he also grants damage reduction to his whole team with encompassing Aegis. He really is just that guy. Straben is built different. He is the best class in Space Marine 2, and obviously he's going to go into S tier in a siege mode team comp. He is the best class for solo as well, and I can't gush about this class enough because he does everything. He does absurd damage, absurd survivability, grants damage reduction to your whole team, and kills triple boss spawns like nobody else. So easy S. Next next class here is Tactical. Now, Tactical used to be the best class in the game, in my opinion, before they kind of nerfed his Auspex parry. It does feel like in patch 8.0, his Battle Focus perk no longer procs Auspex on the bosses properly with his like concentrated fire buffs. And what I mean by that is it doesn't actually like trigger the extra buffs to your Auspex when you Auspex parry people. So that's kind of unfortunate. However, the Tactical on his own may not be the best class anymore. He is an incredible real enabler for the other classes in your team, mainly your heavy, and I do think he is part of the best duo comps you could ever have in the siege mode, mainly because Auspex just lets you nuke down bosses that would otherwise just sit on the field and blow up your whole team for way too long. And really, DPS nuking becomes very important versus some enemies in this game. He's also not that bad at surviving. He does struggle a bit more with survivability than these other two classes do, but I would still say he is easily S, and I would put him a little bit above the Bulwark class. Now, tactical as well, his gun options are incredible, like things like the Bolt Carbine and a Plasma Incinerator, so easy S pick. On top of the Auspex just being like the best class ability besides Iron Halo in the game, in my opinion, and maybe the Banner. And really, he just is quite a powerful pick no matter what team comp you're in. I would say he really goes into an optimal team comp no matter what, just like the heavy class does. Now, the last class we have here is the Vanguard. Now, Vanguard is an easy S in the actual pub matches. I will say that. If you're playing with random players, and I said we're going to talk about like random pub match tier listing, but if you're playing with random players, he's S. He just keeps like mediocre players alive, and like he doesn't really save your worst players, but they're probably going to die anyways. But like if your teammates are just struggling a little bit, he can push them over the edge to win. And a lot of players just want to get to like wave 15 in this game anyways, so he's very strong for that. He can push up to wave 15 quite easily. Same thing with Assault, to be honest here, and the Assault class can push to wave 15 quite easily. It's just like post wave 15 he will just struggle immensely, but like before that he's still a very good pick. Now, as far as the Vanguard goes, for an optimal team comp, I would say he goes into B, because his healing does kind of fall off at some point, where a drip fed healing is just not as good as proper damage reduction and survivability that the Bulwark has, and Bulwark can also heal your team with Invigorating Icon. And if I had to ask myself, okay, who do I want to be up on my team last out of like all these classes besides heavy and tactical, it would be Bulwarks or Sniper and not the Vanguard, because Vanguard is strong. He does have good damage reduction, but the way the Vanguard survives is by giving himself a drip fed heal, and there comes a time where getting one shot simply will not allow him to actually heal off of anything, because, you know, when you're one shot, doesn't matter how much HP, if you were at like, you know, 20% HP and you could have gotten it back, you're dead, so it doesn't really matter at all. So that's why I put him in B here for an optimal team comp. And the true duo I did up to like wave 23 was with just heavy and tactical anyways. And really, I don't think the healing perks are as strong as people think they are in this game anyways, because really what they are is like they increase your margin for error up until a certain point. And the way, like I said, the way the siege mode is set up currently, the enemies do so much damage that a drip fed heal is just not as valuable. Maybe that will change one day. If they did less damage, he would be better. I'd probably put him like A, but unfortunately getting one shot, it's just like the antithesis of how he functions as a class to heal your teammates. So that's why we put him in B for an optimal team comp. And I would say this is like the best team comp in the game right now, which is heavy tactical Bulwark or heavy tactical Sniper, and really heavy and tactical go into any team comp because they're just the two best classes in this game together. And Bulwark is just that guy at surviving, and he brings that like that extra safety net that some of these other classes do not. The Sniper is also a very strong pick. Anyways, that is my tier list for the best classes in siege mode. I know it was a little bit rambly. I'll probably make a solo tier list at some point, but I really do think these three classes are going to be used in the strongest and highest clears that this mode will ever see, in my opinion. Now, if you'd let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will also be posting a video on a weapon tier list at some point here, and also probably like a melee weapon tier list, and maybe a perk tier list at some point. But until then, see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. As always, take it easy. Peace.